A scientist at Paris, Hippolyte, wants to identify the speed of light, that how fast the light travels. He used a toothed wheel and kept a light behind the notches of the wheel and kept a mirror 5 miles away, on which the light bounces back and coming back to the notch. And as he spins the wheel faster, he notices that a door is starting to close. That is because the light is coming back and touches to the tooth. And then he noted the number of notches in the wheel and the distance between those notches and the speed of wheel. And he calculated the speed of light within 2%, the actual speed of light, in 1849. It wasn't so old to think, but it was remarkable. When we think of Egypt, the first thing that comes into mind is dryness. Nile, the longest river in the world, 6,695 kilometers, was the only source for drinking water in Egypt. Egyptians used Nile for farming because pure water wasn't available nearby. They used mud from the Nile, and then the mud was made to clay, and that clay was casted in a mold so that bricks can be made. And Egyptians was the first to invent writing. Papyrus is a plant available nearby. Egyptians used that plant to make paper. The University of Copenhagen, Denmark has a unique collection of manuscript of papyrus. The text focuses on astronomy, botany, astrology and mathematics, and a lot of scientific evidence, but a lot of them has not yet been translated. Where astronomy comes in a very good idea, how pyramids were built. Around 20,000 to 30,000 laborers worked day and night to build the Pyramid of Giza. The measurement was taken and marked from red ochre. But back then the compass wasn't invented to maneuver what should be the right direction for making perfect measurements. You might have been thinking that stars were used for making right measurements. Since 4,500 years ago, the North Star was completely in a different place. But finding north can be determined by noting a star where it rises and sets and dividing it by half. The Pyramid of Giza is 145 meters high. The pyramid contained more than 2 million blocks of stone, with alone a single block weighed 2.5 tons. I was lost, not because I don't know how to return, but because maybe I don't live in modern civilization. Citizens had to pay taxes and support the government. Pharaohs holds up the highest authority and they run the court too. When anything wrong happens, a pharaoh approaches to their priest and other higher officials to take any decision. Whenever a person comes in the court, they first kisses the pharaoh's legs and kisses the ground. Because their bread has so much grit and sand in it, the Egyptians has a lot of problems with their teeth. They invented toothpaste and toothbrush in order to get rid out of their tooth decay, and their toothpaste includes lots of ingredients. Ashes, eggshells and even ground up ox hooves. Pharaohs think themselves the god, knowing that the death will grab them. They believed that they needed treasure to be buried with them to help them in their afterlife. In ancient Egypt, whoever buries the pharaoh becomes the new king. Then the process of mummification was carried out onto the old king. Ancient Egyptians went to a lot of problems to avoid decomposition because living cells constantly multiplied to their genetic identities. Bacteria and enzymes will begin to eat the body. To avoid it, liver, stomach, lungs will be removed first, and a spike will be hammered in the skull, flushing the fluid of the brain out from the nose, and a raisin will be poured. Then the organs are placed in a jar with natron, which can kill bacteria. Natron is an alkaline salt which is deadly to the bacteria. Then the body will be covered from more natron for 35 days to preserve the skin, and after that the salt sucked the remaining fluid and tree resin are applied with a massage. Then finally it will be wrapped with linen and placed in a coffin which is made up of gold. It is not difficult to imagine. Humans are engineers, no different from ant. We figure out things, but our modern problem is thinking. The only difference between then and now is technology. The brain has not changed. Today we cannot work, or we cannot imagine to work, because we have machines. We have lost the ability to imagine, in a sense. Now I have to push myself a slightest bit further. And as always, thanks for watching.